Today we're going to be going over a 5-minute mobility routine that you can do for your shoulders. To get started, we're going to go with some shoulder CARs. I'm going to be standing nice and tall here. I want to brace my core a little bit, squeeze my glutes, not very hard, maybe about 30%, what feels like a 30% effort. And we're going to take our right arm, and we're going to reach out in front of us. We're going to go up as high as we can, keeping that elbow straight, not letting the head twist. And then we're going to rotate that arm so our palm points away. And I'm going to start to reach behind me as far as I can, reaching back for the wall behind me. Okay, I'm going to stop at the highest point I can keep my hand up off the ground, and then I'm going to come back to my side. I'm going to reverse this. I'm going to start to reach back, get my hand up nice and high, rotate those shoulders out, and start to come back to that original position 1. And come back down. We're going to do one more time on this side. We're going to reach up, get to that position 1, rotate that arm, reach on back as far as I can without letting my chest open up. I'm going to stop at that position 2, hold that for a second, drop my hands down to my side, and we're going to go backwards. So find that position 2 again, rotate that arm out, coming up and around, always reaching as far behind me as I can, get to that position 1. And come on down. Let's switch over to the left. Same thing here, reaching straight out, finding position 1, rotating, reaching back behind me as far as I can. Find that position 2, hold it for a second, let's drop on down. And then we're reaching backwards, reaching up to position 2, rotating out. It's always reaching back behind me as far as I can as I get to position 1. And then we're dropping it back down. And we're going to go one more rep here, reaching up, rotating, reaching back behind me, finding position 2, hold 1 second, bring it down to the side, and backwards, find position 2, rotate, reaching back behind me as far as I can, finding position 1, and back down. Okay, we're going to move over to having our arms straight out to the side here. We're going to go through some capsular CARs. So now we're just working on rotation. And we're going to bring our hands back into external rotation as far as we can. Try not to let the arms drop or raise. We want to stay parallel to the ground. And then I want to come as far forward as I can. All right, we're going to go through 8 of these. So we're going to come back into external rotation for rep 2. Coming forward. Each one trying to maybe squeak out another centimeter, inch of motion, whatever you can get. Rep 3, coming back into internal rotation. Coming back. And into internal rotation. And back into external for rep 4. And back in for internal rotation. Coming in for rep 5 now. And internal rotation. Come back for 6. And then we got 2 more as we come through internal rotation. Try not to feel your scapulas move, so they shouldn't come up and forward as you come forward. Reaching back into external rotation for 7. Coming back forward. And last rep as we reach back into external, and then we're going to come into internal. All right. From here, we're going to go into what we call swimmer hovers. So we're going to put our hands behind our head. All right, so I'm going to be in here. I want to pull my elbows back as far as I can and squeeze my shoulder blades. Then from here, I'm going to have my hands pull off of my head. Then, without letting my upper arm positions change, I just want to extend the elbows. I'm always reaching back for the wall behind me. I'm pulling down until I get to about a T position. I'm going to rotate inward so that my thumbs point down. Keep reaching back behind me until we get to this A-looking position here. So my arms are there. I don't want my upper arms to move. I just want to bend my elbows. And now we're trying to reach our hands behind our back, but hover them, don't touch your back. Hold out for a second. We're going to straighten the elbows. We're going to come back out to that T position. From here, I'm going to rotate, palms forward, and then I'm going to reach up for the ceiling, that Y position, hands behind the head, but they never touch. we're going to hover back in that position, pulling those elbows behind us as far as we can. 2 more reps here. We're going to extend. We're going to drop down into that T position. We're going to rotate. We're going to keep those hands reaching back behind us till we find that A position. I'm going to bend those elbows, but my hands are never going to touch my back. Maybe lightly graze, but I'm not going to rest them. Extend those elbows. Come back up to that T position. Rotate. Keep reaching up, back behind you into that Y position. Hands behind the head. Don't touch. You can graze if you want. And we got one last rep here to wrap things up. Extending the elbows, coming down to that T position, rotating in, coming down to that A position, and then reaching those hands behind your back. And we're going to hold a second without actually touching, and then we're going to come to a rest. And there we have today's mobility class, focusing on the shoulders.